start here. There we go. Welcome everybody to another episode of The World of Pets with Patty Ernest. This show is a part of the World of Ability Podcast Network. That was started a couple of years ago by Art Roscoe from Marcus Hart of Transforming Media Network. So the show is kind of all about pets, and pets, pet sitting. Since Patty is a pet sitter out of Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm going to pass her over to Patty to get us started.
I have with me a guest, Katie Dirk, who is involved in the World of Ability by way of crisis intervention. She also has a daughter who who is working in various pet resorts. Katie, good evening, and would you like to share a little bit about your background?
Hi. I don't even know what to say.
How did you get started in this field?
Well, I don't know if I want to share all of that information. Okay. I feel like I have a passion for giving back to people that are in crisis and need housing and that type of thing. That's how I got started.
And what can you tell us about your pet and about your dog and why you enjoy having your dog?
Well, this is the first animal that I've ever owned that chose me to be their person. I've never had a dog that, was totally just all about me. And she definitely is. I don't ever have to wonder whether I am loved or anything. She's my emotional support animal also. She's been with me. I got her a couple months before my dad passed away, so she's been with me through a lot. But she's a little Minton Chihuahua mix. And I don't know, I just love her. She's very quirky and she does a lot of weird stuff, but that's why I like her. That's why I love her.
How long have you had her?
I've had her since she was 6 weeks old, and she will be 4 in April.
And what other pets have you had?
I've had a lot of. I've had mostly Chihuahuas because I like Chihuahuas a lot. I like little ones, but I have owned Dalmatians as well. My ex-husband was a Dalmatian fan, and my daughter loves them too, and I do too. I like all pets.
What is your favorite, what is your favorite animal or pet, or is it dog strictly, or?
Mostly, yes.
Yes?
I don't like litter boxes, so I'm not a cat fan.
We're over at the dog park, what's known as the PetSmart Dog Park or Washington Dog Park, sitting on 21st in Glendale, in Phoenix, Arizona, Glendale, Arizona. And so you all can join us out here. Are you interested in giving your dog some entertainment as well as activity and exercise? And what are you thinking of the park, Katie?
I think it's awesome. Well, you get to see all kind of little dogs and big dogs, and I like to see that they all get along. I think my dog would be scared here, but she's afraid of cats, so she'd have to get used to it.
Yeah, for some, they're like everybody else. Some of them are born into wanting to be around others, and some of them are born into wanting to be by themselves, and some are affectionate, and some will just rather be independent. So a mixture of everybody here. Um,
Mhm.
my dog loves to roll in the grass in the hay, I guess you would call it. And yeah, and she is enjoying, but right now I think she's getting a bit tired. We've been here for quite a while now. How long have we been here, Katie?
Couple hours, I
Couple of
think.
hours. And but she loves coming over here, and in fact, she'll bark from the car when she knows she's over here. Generally, and that I think she's getting a little bit tired at this point. Not as many dogs here at this point, so this is a good time if you just want to run your dog and give them some exercise. I think the park's open until like 10:30.
Well lit.
It is very well lit, yes. Yeah, it's I don't know who gets more of a kick out of it, the pups or the people. So it's a very relaxing atmosphere. Um, and so you mentioned before about your daughter's involvement with dogs and pets. What is do you know what she finds most interesting about working around them?
I don't know what she finds most interesting, but I just know that she's always had a heart for any animals. I mean, any animal. But I mean, dogs are her thing. She likes them all. Honestly, I couldn't tell you if she liked dogs or cats better. She just has she's drawn to them and they love her. So
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I think my favorite animal though is monkeys. So yeah, Emily, do you have some questions you'd like to ask Kurt? Questions that come to mind?
Are you originally from the Phoenix area, or did you move to Phoenix, or?
um, I actually was a military brat. I was born in North Carolina, but I've been in Phoenix area and the surroundings for probably 33 years now. So I've been here for a long time.
Well,
She watched it grow up.
Yes.
So
what part of the military were you in?
No, I wasn't in the military. My dad was. He was in the Air
okay.
Force.
Oh, okay.
Kurt, do you have questions you'd like to ask?
Folks, I'm really leaning on Emily to steer the show. I've been preoccupied here. I don't know what I'm coming into here. So I guess my question would be, kind of how can we help? And, kind of with the world of pets, kind of what is our takeaway from it?
So those who are living in the Phoenix area, if they would like to reach out to me, I'd be happy to hear. I'd be happy to talk with them about their pets and how I can best help them as a sitter. I provide in your home pet sitting service, and I have been doing so for over 25 years. I am insured. I am LLC, we try to bring interesting guests into the podcast so people can learn more about, pets and, how best to help them. Yeah. Hello?
So about this, like, how long have you been doing what you've been doing?
Are you referring to the pet sitting?
No, I was referring to Katie and how long she's been doing.
Katie?
I have had an experience with it for probably, well, I'd say 10 or 12, 20, 10 or 12 years, but I do street outreach. And I've done that probably for 2 years now.
Okay. So how did you two meet?
So we met by way of her involvement in the community.
Okay.
And I've known her for what, a month, 2 months? A month. I've known her about a month.
Yeah.
She's a phenomenal, awesome lady.
Right.
She says she tries. So, yeah, she does a lot of good work for the community. Other questions that you and Kurt may have?
Um, sure I do at the moment.
Kurt, other questions that you may have?
All right, I'm trying to catch up here. Like I say, I was pulled away and I really was not in the show. So I'm seeing out of the transcript that a little bit of what's going on here is about crisis intervention. I mean, can you guys help me get caught up here? I don't know what conversation I'm in the middle of, so I got to form a question. So help me out. Emotional support animals. I'm just kind of trying to catch some key words here so I know what I'm participating in.
Yeah, well, the World of Ability focuses on helping people of various backgrounds, achieve their best quality of life, right? And that's what Katie does as a crisis interventionist. Is she brings people, hopefully, to a level that really makes them shine.
All right, so let's color this up a little bit more. So, crisis intervention in the last half a year, we've talked a fair amount about crisis intervention teams, the whole mental health system, and we have, like in terms of animals participating in that, how does this all work? I'm having a crisis and Katie, you're coming to help me. All of a sudden I'm interacting with animals, or I'm getting assigned an animal, or I'm going through a process that I can have this. I have rights that go along with this. Like, kind of what do I need to know if I'm being served by you, Katie?
No, there's still two different things. Like I help with people in crisis. I do help them if they have animals as well. However, that whole emotional support animal you saw, that was my personal animal. Basically what I do is I help with homelessness and addiction and shelter and that type of thing. And a lot of times I come across people that do have animals, and we have to try to figure out what we're going to do with the animals so that the client can get them back, because nobody wants to part with their animal. And in fact, a lot of people continue to remain homeless because they have an animal. They have a dog, or dogs are usually what I see. I've seen cats and ducks too. Ducks, for real.
Oh, boy.
A pet duck, a homeless pet duck. I'm not even kidding.
Well done. That's the first.
It was for me too. So I mean, that's where I get involved as far as the community is, and I try to help folks find shelter, and then of course ensure them that if they have an animal, they're sure that they get them reunited with them once they've gotten stable and what have you.
Okay, so Katie, what have we seen in the realm of addiction with, what do you pick up on in terms of how animals are affected, by, being in a family or with someone who is fighting addiction, like how does that play into your role? Are there things that, like, once in a while, does the pet need to be removed from the person because of their issues with addiction, or that is a moot point? You never see that the animals are always fine. It's you just help the person with addiction. How does that all work?
Mostly we help the person with addiction, because honestly, with all of my work throughout the city and the streets and whatnot, the animals that are on the street, like homeless, with their homeless person, are more taken care of than the person is. They make sure their animals are good to go. I've seen a homeless man take off his shirt in the wintertime to lay it on the ground so his dog can lay on it. I mean, I've seen a lot of things, and mostly the animals eat first before the person. I mean, they treat their animals well, addiction or not. They're always treated way better. And then there's so many people that donate food or water, or they'll even go out and get like the booties for their feet when the ground is way too hot, because it gets way hot. There's so many people that help with homeless animals, and it's crazy because it does get very, very hot here.
Yeah, I've heard games are like triple digits out there sometimes.
Oh yeah, most of the summer.
So Emily, what is your take in all of this? We're talking about addiction, crisis intervention, taking care of people, and this commentary of people tend to take care of pets better than themselves. Where are you in all of this?
Like I said, it's interesting. It reminds me of Anna Maria Bliven, and her thing all about like homelessness and helping people find employment and that kind of thing. Kind of a similar thing, right?
Yes, a very similar thing.
Yeah, so Emily, with your experience with Anna Maria, now we're here talking to Katie. Katie's here. Emily, how can Katie help fill in some, nuggets for you? Any gaps in your understanding about the community people who are homeless, people who are dealing with substance use? It seems like a learning opportunity for you, Emily. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Have you ever helped somebody and then have you seen like repeat? I don't know if you want to call them repeat offenders, but
Like relapse, people who relapse?
sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
Okay.
all the time. Or, you know, we get them housed or not housed, but in shelters or whatever, and they leave, of course, and then, you know, see them again a couple months later or whatever. Of course, all the time. Addiction is a nasty thing.
Yeah.
So they say that people have relapsed 7 times before they get clean, usually, before it sticks. And I've seen that over and over again. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
You have like an estimate of how many people you've helped over since you've been doing this, or
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
you have like I'm sure you probably helped quite a few people, but you have like an estimate of maybe about how many people you've helped or been in contact with to get help or anything like that?
Who they can get in contact with, is what you said?
Or how many people you've helped like find shelter and that kind of thing?
Oh, myself or my job, where I work?
Maybe sort of both.
Okay, well, I try to. I help people all the time. I mean, as far as getting off the street, they have to be ready. They have to want to do it.
Right.
And either, like, everybody wants housing. Oh, yeah, I want to sign up for housing. Okay, great. So everybody wants to do that, but they want you to just hand it to them, you know?
Right.
And here in Phoenix, we're housed first, worry about addiction after that. I get people off the street, so. But that being said, there's a huge list of people who need to be housed. So the list is, I think last we checked was like 2 to 8 years. It's a ridiculously long period. However, there's a vulnerability index test that we, not a test, but something that we, a questionnaire, I guess, that rate the vulnerability of people who are homeless. Like, for instance, if somebody's been homeless for 20 years and, you know, they're older in age and what have you, then they would be more vulnerable, of course, on the streets and would therefore be housed first. But it's a whole big long process. It's a big deal, a big on-taking, I guess. But it's worth it. And my company, which is the Phoenix Rescue Mission, they help so many people. It's not even funny. I mean, huge amounts of people get helped and housed and sheltered and whatnot all the time. I don't even have any specific numbers, but it's a lot.
Well, that's fine. Yes.
Hopefully not. So,
Other questions that you might have?
pardon?
I'm asking Emily and Kurt, do you have other questions?
Did that sort of answer your question? Based on my end. Or commentary?
Does that answer my question? Oh man, it's like multi-dimensional. We had questions about questions there. It's so I guess there's a question I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but Katie, are we seeing animals in shelters?
Yes, we absolutely are. In fact, there's a big, huge shelter that houses about 200 women and 200 men, and they are allowed to bring their pets if they have pets. There's also other, they're not shelters per se. They're not rehabs, but sort of transitional housing, I guess. That allows animals as well. which is awesome because, like I said, there's a lot of people who remain homeless because of their animals and they don't have anywhere to bring them. You know what I mean? And they just don't know about the places that you can bring them. So you should see the people's eyes light up when I say you can bring your animal with you, and they're like, "What? Yeah, let's do this." So, and that's happening more and more. Like more and more places are opening or are open to the idea of pets. So that's always good because we need them. We need our pets. Like I said, mine is my emotional support animal, and we've been through a lot together, and I can't even picture my life without her. And I would probably remain homeless as well if I had her with me and couldn't take her anywhere.
And what would we do without our pets?
Pardon?
What would we do without our pets?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Emily, are you able to live with? Are you able to live without your without your pets?
I mean, I haven't had a pet for a while now, but if I had one, I probably wouldn't.
Kurt,
Live without either. But
Kurt, how would you feel without Minnie?
Well, that would be a huge gaping hole. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the loss of a family member if anything like that would happen. So,
Absolutely. And then these people who are homeless tend to even lean on their animals even more because that's all they've got. I mean, a lot of times that's what it is. I mean, that is their family. So it's difficult. That's why we try to, if they aren't able to take their pets where they're going, like for instance, I had a gentleman that I met not too long ago, and he had an infection that he needed to go to the hospital. And you obviously can't take an animal to the hospital with you, but he was going to be there for a while, and he had this really cool dog. I fell in love with him immediately, but he obviously couldn't take him, so we had to house him. But he wanted him back, of course. And it was really difficult. He kept making excuses and whatnot as to why not he couldn't go or whatever, because he couldn't find a stable place for the dog to be where he could get him back. And we worked feverishly trying to find a place, and he was housed temporarily while the gentleman was in the hospital. And I just actually heard today that the gentleman is out of the hospital and reunited with his dog. So that is very cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wasn't gone as long as he thought he was going to be, or in the hospital as long as he thought he was going to be, and he's doing better. Therefore, he'll be better for his dogs. Unfortunately, he's not interested in shelter at this time. I mean, he's got an addiction. So it is what it is. It sucks, yeah. But
Emily and Kurt, do you have other questions? I'm sorry, Katie, were you going to add something else?
nope, I think that was it.
Okay. Emily and Kurt, do you have other questions?
not sure at the moment.
all right.
Kurt?
So Patty, let's noodle on this a little bit because
Noodle?
so I'm just looking at, with a service like yours, Patty, where you're Patty's Pampered Pet Sitting, and we're talking about the community of people who have goals of substance use reduction, and we're talking about the community of people who have home insecurity and all this transitional stuff. We're talking about displaced individuals because, with these shelters, to me, the story goes that somebody is in a part of their life where they have a home, they have an apartment, whatever, they may be evicted. Somehow there's a loss of shelter. There's a loss of a home. There's a loss of the apartment. And then you know, they're homeless and, you know, job insecurity, and, you know, maybe they got a pet, maybe they don't have a pet, and so forth. And so somebody finds themselves in the shelter, and then they're looking for supports. Like Katie says, you know, Katie, you're saying that some of them want you to just kind of provide a housing solution, you know, to all of a sudden
Mhm.
say, hey, we got an apartment for you. Go ahead and move in. You're all set. You know,
Daisy, quit digging.
What's that?
Daisy, quit digging. That
Sorry.
is correct.
Wait, so
But
what
it
is
doesn't
this?
happen that way, obviously.
You're saying, oh, you're saying in terms of getting it served up on a silver platter?
Correct.
Daisy,
Yeah.
quit digging.
So, you know, but I don't know what the
quit
Humane
digging.
Society situation is
Quit
there. I don't
digging.
know if there's a huge
me, Daisy.
success rate of animals being adopted, you know, in the area there. But, you know, to me, there's something in this where in some of these shifts that society needs to take, you know, I think animals and pets are somewhere in this shift, because we're talking about, you know, a long enough list of people that, you know, to me, I trust that, first of
No.
all, people are able
No,
to
Daisy.
bring these pets to the shelter, but I can only imagine that these pets might be, you know, a
Daisy,
little
no.
bit hindered, you know, maybe a little restrictive in terms
Come here.
of what goes on through these shelters with pets. Would that be true, or are pets in a pretty good situation with these shelters?
Oh, they're in a good situation. I mean, the shelters provide food and water, of course, and even veterinary care at some places. So they're probably better taken care of than they would be outside of the shelter, for sure. But
Okay.
like I said, homeless people usually their pets come first before their themselves even. So
Okay, so
they're pretty well taken.
so basically, are people who are staying at these shelters, am I getting a picture that these individuals, or whether it's a family that's in there or whatever, are they taking their pet and like going for walks? Are they finding a dog park?
Oh yeah,
Are they doing all this type of active stuff?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
very good.
Yep.
So, but in terms of a service like Patty's, we wouldn't be seeing a place for Patty to be of service, because these are people who are not leaving their pet at the shelter unattended, and then needing someone like Patty to come in and help them make sure their pet's taken care
Correct.
of. Right. I mean, I guess I was trying to think of like a social service or a community project aspect that maybe people who are in a situation like Emily, is your situation that pets are not allowed in your apartment, or you just don't have a pet?
Both.
Well, both. I think it's more that pets aren't allowed. I mean, that pretty much
Oh.
But I don't have a pet.
Yeah, but are they
Even if
allowed?
And even if I did, hold on, I don't have a pet, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to have it at my apartment.
Yeah,
Because
so
they're not allowed.
yes, that's what I'm looking at. Is, I mean, I think it depends how things are going at the Humane Society and how the adoptions are going, because if all pets are finding a home, but you know, I know Minnie we've got, because if Minnie was not adopted through channels like how we got her, you know, she would have been put down. You know, she wouldn't have been able to live on because of not having a family to go to or a person to go to. so is Arizona a no-kill state, or where's Arizona on that?
We have no-kill shelters here, yes, but I don't know if it's a no-kill state. I'm not sure.
I don't think it is.
Oh, I wish it was.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because to me, that's how this whole rescue thing comes, or well, quite a bit of it, the entirety of a successful rescue is that, the pet does not get put down because there's just nobody to pass them off to. So so the Humane Society or whatever it is, these pets just have to be put down. So to me, I
Well,
think
they try to find homes for them. All of these rescues, there are many rescues in Arizona, and everybody does try to find a home for them as best as possible.
oh yeah,
So if you're interested in adopting, if the listeners are interested in adopting, reach out to the shelters, reach out to the rescue groups, and they'll help you find the right pet for you.
For sure.
and I know there's a lot of cooperation across states. So I'm trying to remember. I think Minnie came from like Mississippi or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on to think on a national level, so that
correct.
So to avoid it as much as possible. But my understanding is that the national system isn't sophisticated enough yet to save it. There's quite a few animals put down along the way. I don't know what the statistics are, but I get a sense it's a pretty huge number of animals are put down all the time, right? Across our country.
Right. Well, we don't need any more breeding, that's for sure. And we don't need, people who abandon their pets, that's for sure. We do need the people who are interested in adopting, fostering. Fostering is a big thing also.
Yeah, that's where we got Minnie from is, a few doors away from us, the family fosters.
Daisy, come here.
Yeah, the family fosters the puppies. And then, so basically the kids of this family a few doors down was walking Minnie before it was an idea that Minnie would come to our family. And so, yeah, we adopted Minnie from the foster family.
Awesome. Yes, very cool. I've seen Minnie. I love Minnie.
Yeah.
Can
Can I meet her in person?
You tell me, can you meet her in person? So, I don't know if that's a call out to our audience here to, is this a call to action?
So
Let's help
that is
Patty.
a call to action.
Yeah.
That's a definite call to action for those people who want to fund me to send me up to the Roscoff so that I can meet Minnie and meet them as well. That might help.
A little bit of a byproduct, huh?
Yes, just a little.
Well,
Just a little.
so Katie, a fun question I have for you is we're less than a month away from, as Patty here would tell us, it's St. Patty's Day.
Right.
Are you one that finds St. Patty's Day a fun day, Katie?
Am I what?
Are you a person that tends to find every year that St. Patty's Day is quite a fun day?
I don't drink, so.
Well, but there's, corned beef and cabbage, and there's,
Oh yes, I do
the
partake in
Irish
that.
music and all that kind of stuff, right?
Well, I mean, my mom makes corned beef and cabbage, so I eat that. But
And I like the Irish music.
I wear green, so I don't get pinched.
There you go. So the other side is we're in the midst of Mardi Gras right now, right?
Today is also National Love Your Pet Day.
It is. It is. So yeah, we definitely got to imbibe in that today. So it's a great day to have a podcast called The World of Pets.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, well, I want to thank Emily and Kurt. I would like to thank you too for allowing Katie and I to be on the podcast, for organizing it. And, yeah, so, I think we're going to bring this to a conclusion. I want to thank you all again. Katie, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being had. That's what
All
we
right.
say here. So and yeah, we're together. 4 people, like 4 legs.
Kurt, what did you say? Kurt, what did you say? Thanks for being here. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You caught me. It's slow to sink in, eh?
Oh no, I caught it the minute you said it.
All right, sounds good. Well, all right, Emily, that's your cue. You got the indication here. We are at the closing. So, Emily, why don't you do your wrap up and wrap it up with a bow and get us on out of here. Thank you, Emily.
All right, everybody. I want to thank Katie for coming on today. As well as giving special thanks to Marcus Fire Transfer New Media, Jay Stein of the Disability Channel, and Zach Clayton of the Back Channel for allowing us to be on their platforms. I encourage everybody to go to or check out all of our social media pages and groups, and like, share, comment, subscribe, and so on. If anyone has any, we are here every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. If anybody, we'd love everybody to join us if you are interested. If anybody has any questions, comments, and so on, then contact me at podcastengineer54@gmail.com, or Kurt at 262-372-1754, or abilitymkenow@gmail.com. So I guess on behalf of myself, Kurt, Betty, the rest of the World of Ability Podcast Network, wish you a safe and productive week and to stay happy.